Hi, this is Lynn from A Bypass to a Leaner. Lynn, I'm sorry. I'm jostling you around. I think I'm crooked. Story of my life. But at any rate, this is Bypass to a Leaner, Lynn, or Lynn for short. I'm coming at you with my week 15 update. I cannot believe it has been 15 weeks since this surgery. I mean, that's like 2.5 months. I mean, 3.5 months. No, see, now I can't even do addition anymore. And I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been, I mean, it almost seems like it was yesterday when I was getting ready to have the surgery and fretting and fuming and worrying, and it's all gone so well. And, I can't believe it's been this long. But at any rate, let me go ahead and start with my information, the regular start to every video. I had a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass on October 17th, 2017 at Merit Health River Oaks Hospital in Flowood, Mississippi, with my surgeon being Dr. David Carroll. When I began my journey at my highest weight, I was 331 pounds. My surgery weight was 279 pounds. Last week, I came at you at 236 pounds. And this week, when I weighed in yesterday morning, I was 233.8 pounds for a loss of 2.2 pounds this week, 45.2 pounds from my surgery weight, and 97.2 pounds from my highest weight. I have finally reached a place I have never been before. Back in 2005, I had gone to the doctor because I was really, really sick and running a high fever, and he did a chest x-ray. And I had a touch of pneumonia, it's not unusual for me. But at any rate, when my doctor talked to me, he said, Lynn, I don't want you to panic, but you also have an enlarged heart, and it's concerning. And I just kind of went, oh my goodness. And so I joined Weight Watchers again, and I did really well. I committed. Just, I mean, I didn't give up until about a year and a half later. Actually, probably it was the middle of 2007, and my brother had a heart attack, and he is 13 years younger than me. He was 42 at the time, and the doctors that saw him said it was a miracle that he survived it because the heart attack was so bad. And I was like, that was my baby brother. I changed his diapers. I was a second mom to him a lot of times. I babysat him. He was my baby brother, and I don't know, it just rearranged my thinking, and I just lost my grip. But before I lost my grip, I had lost 97 pounds even. I have now lost 97.2 pounds, which is the most weight that I have lost ever since I had troubles with my weight. Um, so I feel like I've crossed over a line. Um, and it's exciting to do that. And so I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the weight loss. Now I'm looking forward to being able to say I've lost 100 pounds, because I have never been able to say I've lost 100 pounds. I could say I've lost 97 pounds before, but 100 pounds, I've heard people say I've lost 100 pounds and just been so amazed that they could do that. And I'm almost there. I mean, that is just absolutely awesome. But at any rate, before I get too much further in yakking, let me go ahead and get to some of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, I've got my notes. One thing I think I had one NSV. Last week I went out to eat with a friend. And the one thing I noticed when we've gone out to eat, the booth and sat in a booth, and I usually haven't wanted to sit in booths because I feel so crowded. I felt so crowded in them. And a lot of times when I've had to sit in a booth and she's there, and of course she's smaller than I am, both this way and that way. And but when I've sat in a booth with her, we've had to scooch the booth towards her because I'm having troubles fitting. Well, last week we went to eat. I sat down in the booth. I had ample room, and I just hadn't noticed that before, that I could sit down in the booth and be comfortable and not feel like I was being squunched in. And so that was a really nice NSV, and I really enjoyed that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is an article that I read, and let me get to it. I've got it pulled up on my phone, sort of, kind of. Might take me a minute. Okay. And it was talking about how we measure, or it was sort of like, oh, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, man. Let me see if I can kind of remember. Um, it was, it was, it was talking about making resolutions and goals, and mostly how we measure everything. And we tend, as human beings, to want it all right now. And instead of looking at where we've been, we look at where we want to be. And when we don't get there as fast, we just kind of forget why we're doing it. When instead of looking at where that ultimate goal, we need to look at the progress we've made. It's, that he was talking about somebody in a race, and this person is you know all these people are in this race, and the starting gun goes off and everybody heads for the finish line, and there's always a winner, but it's quite likely that the winner, even though he won the race, is looking back and saying, well, if I had done this, I could have shaved this many seconds off of it. I didn't do as well as I could. We're not satisfied even when we reach our goal sometimes. And this author talked about looking back, instead of looking at the ultimate goal, looking back at the progress we've made, not striving for perfection, because we're human beings and life gets in the way. And sometimes we're not going to be where we want to be. But instead of looking at it as I failed and giving up, we should look at our progress and measure our progress, not our perfection, because we're not ever going to be perfect. But we've made so much progress. You know, you can look back and say, well, this month I only lost 7 pounds. And you wanted to lose 10 pounds, but instead of concentrating on the 7 pounds that you did lose, the progress that you made, you look at the perfection that you want. And I just thought that that was such a good message for us, whether you're trying to lose weight after surgery or whether you're just going to Weight Watchers or you're doing a certain kind of diet. It's important that we look at our progress and that we see how far we've come. Because I'm sure even the person 1 week out, when I was 1 week out, I lost 1.2 pounds. I cried in the doctor's office. I cried because I only lost 1.2 pounds. You know, I didn't look at what was going to happen. All I expected was that I was supposed to have lost, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds. I was supposed to lose this big whopping number. And so I must have done something wrong. I wasn't perfect. I had must, it was all my fault. And I didn't look at, I lost 1.2 pounds. That was 1.2 pounds that I will never have again. And that's awesome. And so instead of looking at what we perceive as our failures, our lack of perfection, we need to look at our progress. And that's just so important in this journey. And the other thing that I had read this a long time ago, and it really impressed me, and I may have already talked about it, but it was an article on motivation. And we think, well, I can't get motivated. I don't feel the motivation. And what we need to understand is that motivation, I'm sorry, I give my children at school when they do well, I give them stamps and stickers. And this week we're using a red ink pad. So I have red all over my hands from the ink pad and from the stamps and handling them. And oh my goodness. But at any rate, so that's where the red comes. I'm not bleeding to death or anything. But at any rate, and this author pointed out that motivation doesn't start with a feeling or an emotion. It starts with action. And when we eat something that pleases us, you know, there's pleasure centers in our brain, and these pleasures are, and that's what I call them. I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but the the things, they're like somebody's addiction or something, the thing that gives pleasure. Well, exercise will give us the same pleasure, in which you feel like that, then you want it again. And so the thing is to set that goal, decide you're going to do it, and then you'll feel the motivation to continue. So that's all I had to say this week. I hope you all have a blessed week. I love all of you. I love all my subscribers, and I forgot to check how many I had. I think I've got 98. So I am just so pleased that anybody wants to listen to me go on and on and on and on and on about weight loss and talk about things that I've read. Sometime in the upcoming future, I'm going to tell you about my vitamin changes, but I'm not going to do that today. Um, and I'm thinking about doing a kind of a what you eat in a day, but the thing is I don't know how to edit, so I probably just have to tell you what I ate because I can't even attach pictures. I don't know how. I really need a lesson in editing. So that's why sometimes my videos are a little disjointed, because once I start, I either finish or I start all over again. And don't like that starting all over again thing. So, but at any rate, I love you all. Have a very, very blessed week. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. And once you subscribe, hit the bell so you'll get notices that I have uploaded a video, and hit the like button because who doesn't like being liked, really? At any rate, bye.